What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD. Once you're back here in PlayStation Source, and we got some interesting things here. I decided to do something a little bit different with the channel. I figured like if things are breaking live or like were live, recently or just happened, I figured I would try and do a little bit of format where I go live and just talk to you guys about it, like straight up here, my thoughts right here, right? So I do have some notes here as well that we're gonna go over, but primarily we are gonna talk about this thing right over here, of course. So we have the homie here, Galaxy 666, Galaxy Rain 6 at Galaxy Rain 66, excuse me. It looks like he somehow got some hands-on with the PS5 controller. I'm not sure if this guy is a developer or if he works at a warehouse and got access to it that way, or he somehow bought it on the shelf just like the Xbox controller yesterday. Who knows? But he seems to have gotten hands-on with the PS5 controller. First off, I want to take a look at this thing, because if we look a little bit closer, so there's a lot of like electrical wiring, stuff like that. I think he may be some sort of engineer, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but he does reveal some really cool info about the controller as well that we will go over in a little bit. But overall, I mean, I think it looks really good. I love how the pause, when I say this, pause, the actual size of the controller. Like, I like how it looks like a unit, you know what I'm saying, which is always a great thing to see, because of course, going from PS3 to PS4, we did get that great scale up in overall size with that controller. So it's nice to see that they're doing it again here, having a step up. I do have one thing to comment though. This man, yo, what's up with your thumbsticks, my boy? Your thumbsticks are looking crazy. They're looking a little crusty. Cut your fingernails. I don't know, man. Galaxy, like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know about these thumbsticks. I mean, maybe it like that looks like some wear and tear. Maybe he's had this for a few months now. I don't know, but I don't know. Them thumbsticks were looking kind of crazy. But let's read over his tweets a little bit more closely and in-depthly. Right, so he says here, hands-on, hashtag PS5 controller, hashtag DualSense 5, just got a short test on it. The battery capacity, which is the main talking point that we'll talk about a little bit later, is 1560 milliamp hours, much more than the PS4 one. The buttons are more pleasant to press than PS4, of course. There are no lights on any buttons. I do want to know what he means by pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it that there's more of like a tactile feel to the button? Like, is that what he's going at? Or they're just overall just more satisfying buttons on the PS5 DualSense controller? Like, I do want to know what he exactly means by that, but perhaps we'll get more clarification in the future. But I'm hoping for a little bit more of a tactile feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, not so much that mushy feel of the buttons on the DualShock 4, but really cool to see that, they have a more, what he says, more pleasant press to the pleasant press than the PS4 buttons. So good to see that there. He also says that according to the test on PC, the data protocol of DualSense 5 is almost the same with DualShock 4. That is amazing. Seems the two controllers have some deep compatibility. So that could be very cool as well in terms of like when you do remote play on like a PC, and how seemingly like I don't think they've said that you could use the DualShock 5 backwards with the DualShock 4 and with PS4 games, but maybe that could very well be the case. We will have to see in the future if they ever say that. But really cool to hear that, at least on the development side. It seems like coding for the DualSense 5 might be a little more streamlined with the DualShock 4, because they share similar coding structures, right? But the main thing I want to talk about here is that, of course, a lot of people talk about the DualShock 4's battery life, right? And of course, the main culprit of that is the good old light bar that we have here. You know what I'm saying? That takes up a lot of battery and stuff like that. So it seems like with the removal of that and the expanded battery capacity, it seems that we are going to get a lot more longevity out of the battery of the DualSense 4. I keep saying DualShock 5, of the DualSense PlayStation 5 controller. So that's cool there. And for reference there as well, the DualShock 4 has 1,000 milliamp hours of battery life, right? And the DualSense is having 1560, so about a 50% increase, a little bit over a 50% increase. So really cool to see that there. Now, there's another thing that we also have to take into account is that, like, while I assume they'll have protocols to make the DualSense controller a little bit more maybe energy efficient, battery efficient, and stuff like that. Of course, with the removal of the light bar, that's going to help tremendously. But another thing also is that there's a lot more tech in the DualSense 5 with like those haptic motors and stuff like that, and like all the other tech that they've put into the DualSense 5 to really bolster that experience in gaming. So we could see not that much of a jump in terms of battery life, but I still think at the end of the day, we'll get a lot more battery life out of the DualSense 5 based solely off that 50% increase in battery capacity, because that's a big deal. And, that's definitely going to be noticeable, I think. It's definitely going to help. And I feel like we'll get back to those controllers that last a super long time, like with the PS3 controller, how those lasted, like, I swear they got a week. Like those never died. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like we're getting back to those. And I mean, the main thing I like here is that I love the overall form factor. Seem like it looks comfortable in the hand. I really want to get my hands on it, of course, come November or whenever it comes out. But it really does seem like it's going to be a very, very nice fit and everything in the hand. And I think we're in for a really good form factor with the DualSense 5 with these images that came out, and we get a little bit more of perspective of like how big this controller is, because like these seem to be AA batteries here, right? So if these are AA batteries, I guess a more close comparison would be these over here. Like we can see that it's gonna be a hefty boy, as Owen says in the chat. It's a hefty boy. DualShock 4 feels a little squishy, but I like that. Switch Pro controller has a gyro, NFC plus rumble, and can get like 4 hours on full charge. Love that it's USB-C. Yeah. So a lot of good things there. Also, I mean, to talk about the battery, Owen brings up a very good point. That's that with USB Type-C, the controller will be able to charge a lot faster than, I think it's micro USB on the DualSense. Yes. Then the micro USB on the DualSense, which was a much more older USB and stuff like that. So, of course, with Type-C, we're gonna get a lot more faster charging time. So that's also gonna be really, really good as well. Shout out to Gear and Legon in the chat. Why would they not add paddles or back buttons to the back? So dumb. Should have made an Elite controller that comes with Android Ride. Listen, I'm with you on that. If we're talking a little bit more casually on the controller, I'm definitely with you on the prospect of like I wish there were some back paddles to the controller. I actually took off mine recently just to get used to, having a controller without back paddles. But there were some leaked documents that were patents that patented a like attachment to the DualSense that would offer wireless charging via like the industry standard. Was it Qi wireless charging? I think is what it's called. Qi charging, I think, is what the standard protocol is. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Qi. But there was a patent that you would buy this back attachment that had back buttons, but it also enabled wireless charging to the controller. So that could be really interesting if they actually make that. I think it's a great idea. But we will have to see. I guess the one thing that I'm a little bit I didn't expect it, but I think it would have been cool to have these buttons light up to a certain degree, like maybe like not like a super bright light, but like a little faint light, because I do miss the overall coloring scheme of the sacred symbols on the face of the controller. But I digress, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you guys feel about the PS5 DualSense controller having a lot more battery life, seemingly having a much expanded battery? Of course, have you had problems in the past with your DualShock 4 battery going out and being a little bit less on the battery life? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And make sure also, while you are down there, to check out the description. That way you can find our Discord, our Twitter, as well as our Anchor link. That way you can start long form content and podcast format. That, of course, being Road to Part 2 and Road 2. No, just kidding. Not Road to Part 2. The show's over. A new Road 2 series happening this Sunday. I'm not ready to announce it yet, but you're gonna want to stick around for Road 2, the new series for Road 2. Definitely check out that this weekend, and make sure also to leave a like on the video as well. Damn, hello, you right? Make sure to also leave a like on the video as well. Stay subscribed to PlayStation Stores to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Also, make sure to check out that Anchor link for all of our podcasts, as well as the join button down below or the description, where you can see that join link if you want to become a member of the channel. You know what I'm saying? Get channel badges and exclusive to emojis. You know what I'm saying? Just like the homie Owen has. And yeah, let me know thoughts in the comments below, guys, about this DualSense controller. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. And as always, greatness awaits.